Shalom, Akim, Shalom. This video today is about some comments that Trump had made, all right, and also the Tucker Carlson interview with Putin, which actually we're gonna start that first. Through the Spirit, Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. So to get started, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect out there scattered abroad, pushing this truth in sincerity and in truth. All right, and to the Akwath, listening in silence, doing what's commanded of them through the Holy Scriptures. All right, to USA Shalom. So basically, and I know a lot of you brothers are very busy, so you might not have had time to kind of look through the whole, watch the whole 2 hours. So for those of you brothers who don't know, just want to give a quick summary of what, was said. It was a pretty heavy interview. You got Tucker Carlson over there and Putin. And basically, Putin gave like a history lesson on the Ukraine. Basically saying that Ukraine belongs to Russia and it was never actually a real country. All right, which, that sounds believable. He says Russia has its own faith and culture. Russia claims to work with Poland and other countries honestly. All right, which basically he's setting it up to say that, America is dishonest or the USA is dishonest, which those of you that are, awake to this truth, this is obvious to us. All right. And even a lot of these peons, Edomites, and even some of these 2/3 know America's dishonest. All right. Those of you that don't know that, you're lost in the sauce. All right. But basically, he goes on to say that the U.S. resolves issues in NATO badly. Okay. Pretty much, in short, that's what he's saying. He says that the U.S. leadership, because he goes to these meetings and things like that. So he says the U.S. leadership exerts pressure and all NATO members obediently vote, even if they do not like something. All right. So right here, just to kind of show you guys NATO members, just kind of give you an idea. Okay. These countries all here are belong to NATO, which is basically the United States, the European Union, and some other, basically pretty much all white countries except for Russia. Okay, and some others. Okay, but basically, it's everything in the blue. So all these countries, right, they go to these meetings, and Russia says U.S. leadership exerts pressure and all NATO members obediently vote even if they do not like something. All right, we know that's lining up with scriptures. For example, I'm going to just grab it real quick and then we can keep talking about it. Let's go to the blue letter. And it says, let's go to Revelation 17 and verse 16. And it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now, who's the 10 horns on the beast? Okay, the 10 horns is the European Union. All right, because the European Union originally had 10 members. Okay, basically countries in Europe. Okay, it says that the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, so we know Russia is going to be the leader of these great nations. Okay, but part of those great nations that are going to be led by Russia is actually NATO's allies. Okay, the same allies that Putin is saying they obediently vote, because it's not because they like NATO, it's because they're afraid of NATO. They're afraid of, or I'm sorry, NATO's afraid of the United States. The United States is the whore that rides on top of the beast. Okay, the beast is NATO and the EU. Okay, and the whore is America. All right, and these shall hate the whore. Let's read that again. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Verse 17, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest, right, the whore, is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, who's the ruling nation right now? None other than America, okay, which we call Babylon the Great, okay, or Mystery Babylon, pursuant to the scriptures. All right, so Putin goes on to say, we try to build relations with the United States in many ways. Okay, and I'll give y'all some sound bites, but just kind of give y'all a quick summary. You know, he says, we try to build relations with the U.S. in many ways. The example he gives is the Iraq War. All right, he said to the U.S. in a meeting, he said the U.S. should not support terrorism in the North Caucasus. And he spoke to a U.S. president at the time, and he said, do you have any proof? And Putin showed the proof, and guess what the president did? The president of the United States said, oh, I'm sorry, that's what happened. Well, I will kick their ass. But guess what happened? The U.S. did nothing. All right? After Russia tried to get a response 3 or 4 times, they did nothing. You see? So the U.S. then created the Missile Defense Program. All right? And the Missile Defense Program was created supposedly against Iran, which is what, they had told Putin. But Russia suggested working together. And, the U.S. started playing games. So Russia proposed, to work together, and they were denied. All right, so basically, Putin said, okay, well, we will then have to make countermeasures. And then America said, well, do what you want as long as it's not against us, as long as it's not against the United States. And basically, they said, we're not doing this missile defense program against you, Russia. It's against Iran. And but they said you can do whatever you want as long as it's not against the United States, right? And then Putin went on to say, and we created hypersonic systems with intercontinental range, and we are now ahead of everyone, including the United States. All right, this is all biblical prophecy, man, because the scriptures say that Russia is going to be the one to lead this charge against the U.S., even though it's, you got all these Arab countries, you got Russia, of course, you got parts of Africa, and you got even the EU who hates America, man. The whole world hates America. The whole world's tired of this bullshit. All right? Let's get that scripture real quick from the North Country. Okay? An assembly of great nations, right? There we go. Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. And it reads, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. You see, so array means to surround. So figuratively speaking, because you got all these countries all over the world. So you got U.S. is surrounded by water, and then to the east and to the west, you got all these countries that hate America. So that's what's gonna happen, man. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. It says, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Right? And as Russia said, Putin said, we created hypersonic systems with intercontinental range, and we are now ahead of everyone, including the United States. And they continue to develop it, man. You can look it up. Russia has the best nuclear ICBM missiles in the world. They could get from Russia to Florida in 15 minutes. So, hey, The scriptures, everything that's going on in the world today is lining up for Bible prophecy to happen, man. All right. Now, of course, first, before the nuclear destruction of America, the final major prophecy must occur, which is the MOTB. All right. Pursuant to Revelation 13 and 16. I'm just going to get it real quick. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in his forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. As we know, it's the 666, which is on the barcode of the RFID chip right here. So you got this RFID chip with a barcode on it. That's the 666. All right, and that goes either on the right hand or on the forehead. And of course, you got Elon Musk's Neuralink that goes on the forehead. So, you know, both of these are already out. They already put one in someone's head, and they said it works great. So, you know, the technology is already there. They have the CBDC, which is going to be the financial system. Once the dollar collapses, they have this in place already, and they're going to be apparently, from what I've been hearing, in May they're going to start implementing this in banks, in the major banks. So, you know, once they have this, which it's already there, you know, they probably already have it set up, just like they had the jump shot ready as soon as the C-19 situation happened. Hey, this thing's going to be ready. And then all they got to do is Salakia, all they got to do is put it in your right hand or forehead, or tell you that, hey, to buy or sell, you got to put this in your right hand or forehead. Next thing you know, boom, this prophecy's out of the way, fulfilled, and now the destruction can come. Okay, because that's all we're waiting for. Okay, is the MOTB, which of course all hell has to break loose first. That's Yaquab's trouble, Jacob's trouble. Okay, a time of great tribulation, all hell breaking loose, you know, which most likely the dollar's going to collapse. There's going to be, of course, great famine, people invading each other's houses, rape, robbery, murder at an all-time high. Okay, complete chaos. And then, of course, they're going to bring order out of chaos through the MOTB. Okay, Neuralink and the RFID chip. Okay, but after all that happens, you know, the assembly of great nations from the North Country is gonna happen. It's gonna come against America and destroy it. Okay, so right now what's happening is we're exposing Esau with these videos, man. We're making him bare. Okay, we're exposing all his wicked deeds. Okay, Esau is exposing Esau, and then we're putting it out here for y'all to see it. Okay, let's go ahead and play a quick sound clip here, and then we're gonna look at what Trump said. We're gonna go to the 33-minute mark and 20 seconds. Right here is where they say some really useful stuff. Right there. Pay attention to that.
The U.S. leadership exerts pressure, and all NATO members.
Salaki, I had it on speed because I'm not trying to listen to that all day long.
Obediently vote.
Here we go.
Even if they do not like something.
Here we go. Start with that.
I will give you another example now concerning Ukraine. The U.S. leadership exerts pressure, and all NATO members obediently vote.
See? During those meetings, all right, U.S. exerts pressure. All the other members of NATO bow their heads to the U.S.
Even if they do not like something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you what happened in this regard with Ukraine in 2008, although it's being discussed. I'm not going to open a secret to you, say anything new. Nevertheless, after that we tried to build relations in different ways. For example, the events in the Middle East, in Iraq. We were building relations with the United States in a very soft, prudent, cautious manner. I repeatedly raised the issue that the United States should not support separatism or terrorism in the North Caucasus. but they continue to do it anyway. And political support, information support, financial support, even military support came from the United States and its satellites for terrorist groups in the Caucasus. I once raised this issue with my colleague, also the President of the United States. He says, "It's impossible. Do you have proof?" I said, "Yes." I was prepared for this conversation, and I gave him that proof. He looked at it, and you know what he said? "I apologize, but that's what happened." I'll quote. He says, "Well, I'm gonna kick their ass." We waited and waited for some response. There was no reply. I said to the FSB director, "Write to the CIA, what is the result of the conversation with President?" He wrote once, twice, and then we got a reply. We have the answer in the archive. The CIA replied, "We have been working with the opposition in Russia. We believe that this is the right thing to do, and we will keep on doing it." Just ridiculous. Well, okay, we realized that it was out of the question.
You see? So they try to work with America, but America be on that bullshit. All right, now let's go to 30, we're already at 35. They try to come, yep. So that's pretty much it, man. I mean, that's enough on that. So y'all get the point, right? So let's go to Trump's NATO comments, right? So it says Trump's NATO jibe. Put that up here. Jibe means to be in accord, agree, okay? Won't be surprise for Europe, but it could spell a reckoning. It says alliance members have for decades relied on the U.S. to protect them against the threat of Russia. The former president is making them contemplate going it alone. You see? You see that? So, alliance members, specifically talking about the European Union over here. You see, it's talking about Europe. Okay, and let's go down. Okay, so this is what Trump said in there. He said the renewed concern comes after Trump told a rally in South Carolina on Saturday that he would encourage Russia to do whatever the hell they want to any NATO country that didn't pay enough for defense. You see? And then the European rebuke to Trump's latest remarks has been swift. Yeah, because the EU is pissed off, just like the rest of the world. They're tired of America's bullshit, you know, and America's supposed to be a protection to the EU. And so what did America say instead? Oh, well, if you don't pay up, man, hey, we gonna give you over to Russia. We don't give a fuck. That's pretty much the attitude, man. So, of course, as the scriptures say, in Revelation 17 and 16, it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." All right, speaking of the EU hating America. It says, "And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Why? Because ultimately it's going to be Russia, the EU, okay, the Arabian countries, China, North Korea, all these nations going to come together and burn up America with these nukes, man. All pursuing a prophecy, man. It's all lining up. All right, and you got Donald Trump over here talking. And of course, he's not even president right now, but I believe that he's going to be the president in 2024 here this year, in the coming months, whenever the election is decided. He's going to be the next president, okay? Because the way these elites, you know, they do everything, the way they've been doing everything, you know, with him losing the election and, you know, all these patriotic Americans wanting Trump back in the office, and the way it's going to happen is probably going to be a landslide for him. He's going to come in, and as the beloved elder Apostle Tahar and the brothers of GMS have been saying, Trump is the reincarnation of Nero, okay, who helped destroy Rome. So hey, he's going to come back and help destroy Rome one more time, which America is the reincarnation of Rome, okay, also known as the little horn in Daniel, the book of Daniel. I forget what chapter, but it's Daniel the little horn. which we could get that. I think it's Daniel 7, real quick. I believe so. Let me see. Daniel, little horn. Daniel 7, verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. The three horns here were, I think it was France, Spain, and Britain. And then it says a little horn, that's America, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. Okay, speaking of the UFOs, the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots and the vehicles that the Lord and his angels use to get around, okay, and to make war. And, you know, these are the UFOs you see. Okay, and then let's kind of get the whole chapter so we can see. Yeah, so basically, the little horn is America. So lock it, brothers. Just bear with me one moment. Daniel 7:11. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, right? Speaking of America, the little horn. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning fire. So see, America is going to burn, okay? And of course, ancient Rome also burned, okay, but not on the level that America is going to burn. It's going to burn with the destruction of 200 million nuclear missiles, pursuant to Revelation, the 9th chapter. Okay? And, you know, this interview and the words Trump is speaking is showing you that, you know, that's the spirit of Esau Edom here in America, the so-called white man. That's how they think, man. And there's no way you can get along with them, man. It doesn't matter. Like even their own people, Putin, who's also an Edomite, can't get along with his fellow Edomites. All right? Same thing with the European Union, man. They can't get along with each other because they are the wicked the Bible speaks of. The Bible calls them vile men. Okay, pursuant to Psalms. Let's get Psalms real quick, and we're going to close it out in the blue letter. Psalms 12, verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Okay? Speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the vilest of men. Let's get that word in the Hebrew.
Strong's H, 2149. Zoluth.
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 All right, which means vileness. Let's get that definition. Vileness, extremely unpleasant, morally bad, wicked, okay, and then worthlessness, right? Because he's a worthless man. I mean, look how he's destroying the earth. All right, look how he's putting his everybody against each other, just creating chaos, putting the woman over the man, pushing the Mo doctrine, okay? GMO foods, poisoning the food, water, the air, putting all these fake ingredients in your food, all right? Pushing everybody to get jabbed up. You see, this man is the hairbringer of wickedness, man. All right, and that's why his only fate is to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. That is going to be your end, Esau Edom. you so-called white man, you devil. All right, let's go to Obadiah real quick. 1 and 6. And it reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And this is what we're doing. We're exposing Esau on all sides, showing what he's doing with his own people. Can't get along with his own people. All right, which the scripture said would happen. All right, verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy, all right, and you can read that in Psalms 83. All nations are confederate together with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, to oppress the Israelites, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, to oppress us and keep us down as a people. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And that's right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the ruler of America, ultimately the ruler of the earth in wickedness. He has no understanding, man. And you can see the way he acts, destroying the earth and his own people, okay? And our people. And the Lord's going to prevail against him, man, through these nations that he thought he was at peace with, man. So, hey, the scriptures don't lie. Everything the scripture says, all right, everything that's happening right now in the world is lining up perfectly for what the scriptures say is going to happen. All right, the thermonuclear destruction of America, aka Babylon the Great. All right, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying, brothers. Until next time, shalom.